guys, welcome to today's video. Today it's going to be this look I am currently wearing, which is a going out look because I'm going out in 5 minutes, so I have to really quickly film this introduction. I'm just going out for like a little pub run with my friend for her birthday, and we're all going out, and just this colour is my inspiration for the eye look, and I don't know, I just love it. It's like a metallic, smoky, raspberry eye with a pair of falsies on and a lovely nude lip, and I feel like I'm glowing. I'm glowing to the gods. So if you want to know how to get this look that I have currently got on my face, then please carry on watching, and I'm gonna chat you through it. Let's go, let's chat through it. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my hair back just to get it all out of the way because my hair's a frizzy mess. And I wanted to try out this new technique, which is like putting eye primer on your nose, because it kind of helps your foundation to stick to your nose. And I'm just going to use an eye primer by Urban Decay, and I've got like a little sample booklet here that I want to get through, and I'm going to go in with Eden, which is a nude matte. I'm not sure if this entirely works, like putting the whole eye primer on the nose, but I kind of want my makeup to last tonight, so if it doesn't work then whatever. I've not lost anything, but if it does, then I'll be trying this technique again, because it's not exactly very hard to put a bit of eye primer on your nose. I'm just going to take the original primer onto my eyelids because we're going to be starting off with the eyeshadow today, because I think I'm going to go for like a smoky pink eye. I'm not really too sure yet, but we're going to go along with it. So I'm going to be going in with some of the Colourpop shadows. If you have watched my video on my Colourpop swatch haul sort of thing, you'll see that I recently hauled like 50 of these guys. And I'm completely obsessed, so I love them so much. Just to save a bit of time, I'll just put like the colours I use on the screen somewhere so that I don't have to keep taking them out and reading them. I think I'm going to go into the first shade up here with my MAC 224, and I'm trying to set that eye primer all over the lid, like so. Would it help if I zoomed you in? That maybe help to see my little tiny eyes from all the way back there? Probably. With the same brush, I'm just going to go into this peachy shade right here, and I'm trying to run this through the crease, sort of like a transition shade, just so that the warmer colours that I'm going to put in later kind of just all mesh together a little bit easier. The British summer is just relentless. Like, it'll suddenly be really, really cold and wintry and disgusting, and then suddenly kapow, like 20 degrees, and you don't know what to do. You don't know what to wear. You don't know how to wear your hair, everything's awful. So with the Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease Brush, I'm just going to go into this shade right here. It's kind of just like a mauvey muted pink, and it's really pretty. I'm trying to put that in the crease too. I want this look to kind of look a little bit like a sultry, smoky pink eye, so I'm going to kind of work on the colours and build them up from like a lighter shade to darker, so that it's just a bit easier to blend and it's just a little bit more smoky looking. Using a Zoeva 224, I'm just going to go into this shade right here, and it kind of like, you can't really see, but it kind of matches what I'm wearing a little bit, so I thought I'd go with that one. And I'm just going to try and work this from the outer corner into like halfway into my crease, because I don't want it to be too dark on the inner corner. The good thing about doing like shadows before your foundation is that you can be a little bit messier on the outer corner and you can clean it up later. So whenever I'm doing a smoky eye or something that I know is going to be a little bit messy, I always do my shadow first. Again, just to mesh this together, I'm going to go back in that peachy shade with my MAC 224, and I'm just going to blend that again. I just really want to keep blending this and make sure it's as smoky and as like sort of meshed together as much as possible. So going in with this e.l.f. defining eye brush, I'm not even too sure like what this is called or whatever, but it's just like one of those dollar brushes that I got in America. I'm going to go into this deep purpley shade right here, and I'm just going to work this on the outermost corner and kind of just blend it out like so. And again, back in my 224, blending it all in again. Going in with the Zoeva 227, I'm going to go into this like purpley shade again right here, and I'm just going to try and really build up the colour on the outer corner and work that in now. I'm really trying to build up the colour a little bit more. And yes, back in with a 224 again, blending it out. I don't want any harsh lines with this look, and to be honest, the trick to most smoky eyes is just blending it out all the time. You know, you put one colour in, you blend it, you put another colour in, you blend it. Blend, blend, blend. It's the way to success. I'm going to go in with a Real Techniques Bold Metals 203. It's just that tiny little blending brush, I think it is. And I'm going to go into this really vibrant purple colour. And because it is so vibrant, I just want to pop this into like the crease, but not blow it out too much. I just want it to be kind of a pop of colour, bringing in a little bit more brightness to this look so it's not too dark. I'm trying to go like a little bit at a time so I don't have to blend this out too hard with the MAC 223. Because I kind of want this to stay in the crease where it is. I don't really want it to go all over the lid too much. To kind of mesh all of this into like my upper brow bone, I'm just going to go back into this peachy-ish like pink shade here, and I'm just going to run this right here so that I don't disturb that purple that we put there, and I'm just going to kind of really softly blend this with circular motions, almost like a little ombre effect into the brow bone, just so it doesn't look too harsh and everything just looks seamless. With this Real Techniques base eyeshadow brush, it's just like one of their basic brushes that they have in their sort of eyeshadow brush collection. I'm going to go back into that kind of peachy cream shade, and I'm just going to put this on my brow bone just to lighten up in that area a little bit, because if any shadow's been brought up during the blending process, this is just going to bring it back down and make it less intense and less like you've got like a massive black eye, because we've all been there and our blending has got out of control. This just helps it tame it a little bit, you know. And then with the same brush, I'm just going to go into like the kind of shimmery shade that's right next to it, and I'm gonna try and just put this on the very highest point of my brow bone, and as you can see, it just kind of gives it that little shimmer, but it doesn't look too intense. It just lifts up the brow a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to do my face and then come back to the eyes in a second and finish that all up in a moment. But now I'm going to go into the Rimmel London Insta Fix and Go. This is a 2-in-1 primer setting spray. I'm really intrigued by this, so let's hopefully it's got like a nice applicator. It's not spraying. It's a little bit like pissy, but we'll make do. It smells quite nice. Okay. I hope we are primed. I'm just going to dry that down just so that we can put the products on a little bit faster. I'm not going to sit here for ages. Because we want our makeup to last, I'm just going to use the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser, and I'm just going to put like a pea-sized amount on my finger and just literally just put this where the pores are. I don't want this all over my face because it's very silicone-y. So I'm going to just put it right here where my pores are. I'm going to try and avoid the nose a little bit because we did put that eye primer on, so we don't want to mess up the primers too much. And I'm just going to give this like a sweeping and patting motion, because we're not trying to film the pores, we're just trying to pat this all into the pores to fill them, because, you know, that is the idea of this primer. And then for the rest of the face, I'm going to go into this Rimmel London Insta Flawless Perfecting Radiating Skin Tint. And this is in the shade Light Medium, and it's just like a little bit of a BB creamy sort of foundation primer. And it is quite light, but it goes down to nothing almost. So taking a bit on the back of my hand and I'm just sweeping it over the places we haven't put another primer yet. I know we put that spray on, but I just want to be extra. Because it's got a tint to it, I'm just going to use the Real Techniques like Miracle Complexion sponge just to kind of push this into the skin and make it a little bit more flawless. Again, we're going to try and avoid where we put the eye primer on the nose, but it's okay to go on top of that pore filling primer, only because it's like a see-through one, so that should be fine. Because I've kind of put a little bit of like fake tan moisturiser on me, I'm going to be darkening my foundation a little bit with my favourite foundation. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Magique, but it's a shade dark, so I've always got to be tanned when I wear it. I really need to buy the shade lighter because I love this foundation so much. And just to lighten it up, I'm going to be mixing it with the L'Oreal True Match, and this is like the palest shade they've got. And I bought this just to kind of lighten any foundations that were a bit too dark for me. I've just mixed the foundation on a little acrylic palette, and it looks like a pretty good match. So I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna dot this around my face. Again, remember to just like take a tiny bit down the neck. Our faces are 3D, they are not 2D. Don't just give yourself a mask. It's not a good look, trust me. And then once again, we're just gonna take the Real Techniques sponge and blend this all in because we're looking a little bit crazy right now. I'm going to try and avoid the under eye area a little bit because I want to put a concealer down there and I don't want it to be too much product, and kind of it'll all start coming off if there's too much product there. So I'm going to try and avoid the under eye area as much as possible with the foundation. So for concealers, I'm going to go into the Maybelline Fit Me for my under eye and kind of just conceal anything that needs concealing. And then I'm going to go in with the Lumi Magique Illuminating Pen and just put this kind of, do the whole triangle thing under my eyes and trying to illuminate my face a little bit, especially like down the nose, and you'll see. I'm just going to clean up the eyeshadow with the Maybelline concealer as well, just to brighten it up a little bit and just cut that eyeshadow. I'm going to be using a little mini Real Techniques sponge just to blend that out. I just find these so handy to get underneath the eyes and stuff. They're so cute and petite. I love it. The good thing about doing a sponge for your under eye is that it picks up any product that you don't need, so you're not constantly caking your under eyes, which is not a good look, to be honest. And then taking the illuminated pen, I'm just going to kind of drag it out from under my eye and then go up the cheekbone a little bit just to kind of illuminate my under eye, and then I'm just going to take it down the nose and do the whole like sunset on my forehead, because you know, why not? That's what all the cool kids do. And then back in with the little tiny little sponge, because I love this thing. To contour, I'm going to take the Benefit Hoola stick. I recently have just got this, so I'm a little bit like a rookie doing this, so excuse my application. I don't even think that's even, but we're going to run with it. Back in with the blender, but the flat side, I'm just going to kind of put it back so it does that and push it in an upward motion so that I don't drag it below my jawline. It does blend out beautifully though, I've got to give that credit. It blends out bloody beautifully. It's looking much more harsher on like the screen, but I promise you it's blending out lovely. I'm just going to take that not across the entire forehead, but just here where my forehead's a little bit bigger, and just a little bit more just at like the top bit of my jaw. That bit, you know. Now before that immediately sets, I'm going to put a little bit of RCMA no colour powder into like this little tray that I've got going on, because they've got their powders in a herb pot, as you do. I'm going to take this Real Techniques blush sponge, but I've never really used this blush. I've used it more for baking. I don't really bake underneath my eyes typically because I'm a drier skinned woman, but it's brilliant for baking. So I'm just going to take it like that and drag it down. This sponge, by the way, is damp, but it's not wet. I literally kind of soaked it about half an hour ago, and I've just let it to dry a little bit just so that it's not soaking wet and clings to the powder. So while this is all baking, I'm going to take the opportunity to bronze up the face a bit, and I'm going to take the Tom Ford bronzer on this MAC 135. Normally I'd go in with the Bourjois matte bronzer. Oh my god, that bronzer is one of my favourite bronzers ever. It's just like the perfect tone. But, I don't know, I'm feeling this one. I'm feeling the most expensive bronzer money can buy. Why not? And then doing the whole high-low thing, because, I don't know, I just feel a bit of expensive and cheap. I'm going to be using the Essence Blush Place Sculpting Blush Palette. And does this not just look bloody beautiful? I don't know, the tones in here are gorgeous. I think it was only like £4, so I love it. I'm going to be taking the peachy shade on this Real Techniques brush and just putting this on the apples of my cheeks. And I'm going to be careful because Essence blushes are bloody pigmented, so I'm just going to kind of like stab my face with it rather than blending too hard, because I don't want to look like a Coco the Clown. So to dust away all that baking, I'm just going to go into the Rimmel Pressed Stay Matte Powder with this Bold Metals 100 brush. And I find when I sort of blend away a bake with another powder, it doesn't come off as patchy as it would do if you didn't, if that makes any sense. For highlighter, I'm going to go into the Kathleen Lights Makeup Geek palette, and I'm just going to go into that light shade here with a fan brush from MUA and just, oh my god, look at that. Yes! And just pop that across the cheeks. This is a bloody gorgeous highlighter. I'm going to do my brows off camera because it does take me a while, so I'm just going to use the MAC Shadow Charcoal Brown and this Zoeva 322 brow line brush and just fill them in basically. Okay, so going back to those eyes, I'm going to take an MUA E1 brush and I'm going to go into this kind of shimmery maroon colour, and I'm just going to kind of grab as much as I can on the flat side of this brush, and then I'm going to spray it with that Rimmel London Insta like fix thing just to wet it. And I'm going to try and press this on the centre of the lid and kind of just drag it to not like the outer corner because I still want it blown out, but I just want it across the centre as like the main colour on the lid. It's just a beautiful cranberry shimmer shade. I love it. I love it so much. So as you might notice, I've kind of left this inner portion of the eye open from like no shadow too much here. And I'm going to go into this shade right here, and it's also a shimmery shade as you can just about see. And I want to pick up on the other side of this brush because it's still clean. And I'll pick up as much of that as possible. And again, to foil it, I'm just going to spray it a little bit and pop this on like the inner inner corner of the eye just to really brighten up a lot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip the brush around so that I'm using like that pinky sort of remnants, and I'm just going to kind of just tap and sweep just to blend those two together. I'm going to go in with this Zoeva, what is this? Zoeva 230 Luxe pencil brush and go into that really pale shimmer shade and just, this is dry, and I'm just going to pop this on the inner corner just to sort of give myself a little bit of a highlight going on. It's not too noticeable, but it's noticeable enough just to look a little bit prettier than nothing at all. And with that same brush, I'm going to go into this nice sort of sultryish pink shade, and I'm going to run this on the lower lash line. And I want to kind of just join it up here and like just very carefully smoke out that edge that we cleaned up earlier with the concealer, just so it doesn't look so harsh. I'm just going to go in with the Model Co eyeliner, and I'm just going to do the upper lash, like the tight line, and this will just help when I've got mascara on, just to sort of make the lashes look a bit thicker at the root. So it's just a really handy trick to do that. For the lower lash line mascara, I'm going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara, and this is just kind of, I like putting lower lash line waterproof mascara because I feel like it lasts a bit longer on a night out. So like if you get watery eyes like I do, it's just a bit sort of, it's just better. It just lasts longer on your face. I'm going to be going into the L'Oreal Paris Telescopic mascara for my upper lashes because I'm going to be using some falsies. I don't want it to be too much hassle trying to put them on. I just want something to coat them rather than lots of volume. But this mascara does a really good job of giving your lashes length. So if you're after a bit of length, get this mascara. So for the lashes today, I'm going to be going into my favourite lashes at the moment. These are the Ardell Demi Wispies in black, and they're just kind of really almond shaped, and they like feather out towards the outer corners, so they just make your eyes look a little bit bigger, and I love these. So I'm going to put these on off camera because I really can't put these on camera. I have to get like this close to a mirror, so you'll see me in a second with these on. Okay, so my lashes are like on, but I'm gonna like not touch them because they're just drying. And for my lip, I'm gonna go into Colourpop's Ultra Satin Lip in Strip, and this is just a really pretty nude colour. I just love it. So I'm just gonna, girl, yes, I'm feeling this one. I love this colour. I'd say if you're gonna get any of the Colourpop liquid lipsticks, get the satin formula, just because I find it's the most comfortable on the lips. And it just doesn't dry down too much and doesn't look like crispy or like gross. So if you're going to get anyone or anything, get the satin ones. Okay, just to finish all the makeup off, I'm going to go into the Urban Decay De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray, and this is like an oil control one. So if you're getting a little bit sweaty, this is going to be your best friend. It's going to be your best friend. I'd say the trick to this one is apply a layer, let it dry, and then like apply another layer just to kind of really set it into place. I just like to drown in this. Just why not? Why not go for a nice swim in setting spray? Okay, so while the setting spray dries down, this is the final look. It's just like a really glowy kind of raspberry-ish colour eye, and I just love it, and it just goes with what I'm wearing so much. So I just completely love this kind of look. It's kind of really quick and simple. I'd say it probably takes me about 30 minutes if I'm not filming it, which I feel like for a going out look is not too bad. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you kind of enjoyed watching me play around with a few new products and playing around with the Colourpop shadows. I really enjoyed doing this, and if you like this sort of video, give me a massive thumbs up so I know, and I'll kind of do more of these kind of tutorials with me chatting through them, like a chatty get ready, I guess you could call it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! So I'm going to spray this. No, I'm not. There's a little film on it. That's awkward. Go away, hair. Oh, mama, I've got 5 minutes. I've got 5 minutes till I've got to go.